Hey, hi, Linda Rocco in Frankfurt, Germany. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Johnny. How the heck are you?
Well, I'm doing okay. There's a docu-series coming out on one of you and I's favorite musicians in the world,
Oh,
Michael Jackson. It's coming out
yeah.
next early next year, and I thought I'd give you a shout. I want to talk about a few more things, but you did some backup vocals for Michael, correct?
I did. If you want to hear about that, we actually were asked to do because of a vocal school here, right? And they were looking for gospel singers to do the what do you call it? World premiere of the Earth Song, and
Oh
this
yeah.
was a live television show. There's not that many live television shows in the world anymore, really. And this is one of the biggest ones, the biggest one in Germany, yeah, and Europe. And anyway, called Wetten das, which means bet that. Anyway, and it was so cool. And then we practiced 2 days without him, and then we took a bus and went up to Cologne or wherever it was, and then 2 days with him. And let me tell you, he didn't have a stand-in. He was there the whole time with us, practicing with us. I've
Very
never seen
good.
that before. I've sung with so many people, for everybody from Michael Bolton to, I mean, I'm talking about TV shows now, right? To Foreigner, to this, to that. I mean, you name it, I've done that. But Michael Jackson puts himself into the, like when they're just checking lights and action and stuff like that. He was there for every take.
Fantastic. Nice.
Yeah.
And he's so mellow too. Most people don't know that. They have all these strange impressions through the media about Michael, and they don't realize how cool he was and how sweet and down to earth.
Well, you know
And
him a lot better than I ever would have, but I just he
yeah.
was really cool. I just wanna tell that one little thing he did, though. If you recall this one scene where he's hanging, he's on this ramp that gets pushed up to the heavens, yeah? And he's hanging out, and there's smoke coming out. He's got that white shirt billowing, and this is part of the Earth Song, and all of a sudden you hear this, click, the producer, Mr. Jackson, we need to talk about it for a minute. If you, yes, yes, I'm coming down. All right, so he comes down, and we hear all this. We're on the stage, we're right there, and he goes, Mr. Jackson, I'm sorry to say, you can't do that. That's too dangerous. We are liable for that. We can't. And he said, I see, I see. Well, then in that case, there will be no show.
Ah,
Everybody goes,
fantastic.
and the guy went, but okay, well, then carry on, carry on. That was the end of it. That was the end of it.
Yeah, it had to be Michael's way or no way. Because when I was in,
Absolutely.
well, the story I want to tell is how I got to Neverland because Uh, you know, the chef thing came about was only because I was raised in an Italian family and I cooked all the time, right? So
Yeah.
I'm in San Francisco after doing Cooking with Country Music Stars, which was a big hit. And
Wow.
so all of a sudden, I was doing a little dinner party, and then Bill Graham was there, and he said, "Well, come and do the Bammy Awards, which is like the Grammys only in San Francisco, the Bammys." So you
Yeah.
had Huey Lewis, Carlos Santana, the Grateful Dead, Buddy Miles, and I did the backstage food. It was a blast. And what
Oh, how
happened
fun.
and how Johnny Chow was born was I took all the extra food out to Market Street in San Francisco and fed homeless people, and the police came, put me in handcuffs, threw me in the back of a squad car. So Johnny Chow was born in the back of a squad car. And because I didn't know you needed a license. What do I know? I just wanted to feed people. But
Oh,
God
how
forbid today
cute.
in San Francisco, you'd be feeding millions. But so that
Wow.
was so then I get this strange phone call from this agent in Beverly Hills and said, we have a client who's looking for a chef, and I'm like, well, I don't really do that. My background was in management. My background was in production. My background was in doing marketing for home video companies and doing videos. But I couldn't tell Michael's people that that was my background because they never would have hired me. Because I was managing Hank Aaron, I managed Isaac Hayes. I was in the management business. So I
Oh,
had a little fibbing here and there. I had a fib. I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, I was cooking for this person. I got the gig, right? When I did the interview, Michael wasn't there at the corporate headquarters. He
Oh,
was
where was the
listening
corporate
in,
headquarters? Where was that?
I in, Century City in, Los Angeles. And
Wow.
Michael I thought Michael was gonna be at the interview, but Michael was not at the interview, and, he must have been listening in. I get a call an hour later up in my Hollywood Hills house, and they said, "Well, Michael wants to meet you tomorrow." Okay. Why not? I'm going. I don't care if I get the gig or not. I'm going to meet Michael Jackson. Well,
Absolutely.
I get there and he runs through before he even said hello. He's got a mask on. Hey, Michael was wearing masks way before COVID.
He made it cool already long before that,
I mean,
that's right.
masks. Michael was the king of masks. So
That's
he
right.
come running through, and I'm like, "Well, he didn't say hello or nothing." Took him a while. Hey, he had to warm up to this New York energy, but he had come off the bad tour. He was in bad shape, and he wasn't eating well. He was eating cheese pizza, cheese burritos, cheese. Can't live on cheese, Michael. So I got him back into poultry and fish with finger foods because he loved to eat with his hands.
One of the items I created were my famous fruit boats, which I originally invented for the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Kind of finger salad, which contains a Belgian endive leaf filled with a puree of fresh fruit, Italian gorgonzola cheese, and wasabi macadamia nuts from Hawaii.
So that's
Okay.
I did a lot of cool stuff, and but he was just so cool, and we
Oh,
really became friends, and but corporate didn't like that. They don't. If you're hired as a chef or a maid, you better do what you're hired to do. And Michael and
nothing
I
more.
just became
Ah,
friends. We're the same age, right? And,
right.
so we hit it off, but corporate
Oh,
kind of frowned on that. It was like, well, why is Michael taking this guy to the circus? Why is Michael
oh,
Jackson
wow, what? Huh.
yeah, what if we'd go out. He want me to go with him. We went jewelry shopping in Santa Barbara. It's like, why not? I'm hanging out with Michael Jackson. Uh,
Who's gonna say no to that, Johnny? Please, I ask you. Let me write down the names. Go ahead.
I
Uh,
know. And who's going to question anything I'm saying because it was me there and I'm telling it as it is. The only
I
thing
believe
the only thing that went down was that I didn't tell everybody the real truth about my background in the entertainment business because if like I said, if they would have known that, there's no way
right.
they would have brought me in to hang out with Michael Jackson. But
Yeah.
hey, we had a blast, and I was just telling some animal stories about all the animals that were there. There's a
Wonderful.
couple I missed, and the one that's really funny. There's two that I forgot to tell earlier. Was the llama, Louis the llama. Now Louis, I used to give him a Snickers bar, right? And he'd spit it back in my face, right?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, yeah. Louis was famous for spitting. Llamas are like that.
Well, they
Eh,
are spinners. I mean, that's part of their repertoire.
I know. And then there was these huge parrots that were in the recreation room. So when I took people on tours through Neverland, these parrots, I don't know whether it was the security guards or Michael himself, would curse. So if you walk through, they'd go, Michael. Michael would giggle. He would love it.
That's
And
hilarious.
he would like be a little embarrassed, right? Because
I
a
have
couple
no idea
times
where he got that from. It's for certainly not from us.
yeah, but anyway, so, a lot of great times there,
Oh,
and, I wanted to get a lot of this out because usually on these talk shows that I've done over the years, it's stupid questions, same stupid things,
oh, yeah,
did you
he did all the
did
time. Yes,
it's
yes,
like,
yes.
did you see this? Did you I didn't s I all I saw was a guy who had fun every day. He woke
Yeah.
up giggling and having a blast, and,
Oh,
so but, and
well, they didn't want the dirt. Yeah, they just
you
wanted
also did you were part of a very important group that most people would frown on sometimes, but you were part of the Milli Vanilli group.
oh, I was really going back in my Rolodex, I wanted to say, how old am I? Yes, Millie Vanilli. Where did I get the word Rolodex now? Millie Vanilli, yes, yes, there's some films out about that now, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Who knew that this thing would take the turns that it did? famous, well, infamous. Let's put it like that. It's more infamous than famous, I think we want to say, right, Johnny?
And you're featured in one of the in that recent movie, isn't that right?
Both movies. There's one in the States. It's called Milli Vanilli, and it's on Paramount Plus.
Right.
Luke Coram did the film, and he interviewed all of us. So we're in it. We're seen in it in the interviews. My sister and I, and other people who are the main players. But the film that where there's actors playing our parts, I never expected that. That is awesome. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
it turned out that my sister Jody is taller than me, but only in the film.
Oh, and she's your twin sister, is that right?
That's right, that's right. Jody and I did the backing vocals, or in this case, it turned out to be considered part of the lead vocals because we did so much. There were backing vocals. Backing vocals are, well, Johnny, what's the difference between backing vocals and lead vocals? Let, I'll just explain
Exactly.
it. It's where the
Exactly.
it's where the comma is when they write the check. That's
Yeah.
basically where it is. Seriously, yeah. So we kind of got lost a little bit on that front, but that we became such main players, I never expected. It was a studio job, but we did 46 songs. And that
Wow.
second film, like I said, it's in the theaters, and I'm hoping for it to come out in the States. It's wonderfully done, a little bit tongue in cheek. They didn't. It wasn't as dark as that documentary was, but yeah, this thing turned full circle. It's 35 years now.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? And
Yes.
well, it's all amazing. And the other thing about I forgot to mention that I want to get in there is that while I was at Neverland, there was so much downtime because Michael would leave and go on, not on tour, but he would run to L.A. and I'm sitting there like looking at the wild pigs running around and I'm like riding dirt bikes in the woods and then I invented my spices. I was so bored that I came up with my funky wasabi, right? And I would,
Oh, I
I and
have that
my
one.
yeah, and Michael loved these, and
Oh,
the barbecue blues, right? How I get it
yes,
straight, and
yes.
and the soulful Thai, right? But Michael was a particular eater. He hated carrots. I couldn't put a carrot in anything. He'd flip out, and garlic. He wasn't a big garlic. I'm Italian, Michael. You got to
Oh
have
my gosh,
garlic.
I throw everything in, garlic and everything.
It's
Really,
good
I
for
do
you.
too.
But, listen, we both have great stories. I'm so happy that
Oh,
I connected with you today.
I would love to
And
hear more stories about the Michael Jackson thing, though. Maybe we can do that another time. You can tell me a little bit more.
coming your way soon, Linda Rocco.
All right, honey.
God bless you,
Oh,
honey.
so good talking to you. I love you from one Italian to the other. We're gonna see each other in person one day.
We will. We will. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you for
All
your
right.
time. Bye bye.
You're welcome. Bye.